votre déclaration et je donne à présent la parole au Liban, à la représentante du Liban.
President, allow me to begin by congratulating the mission of Côte d'Ivoire for assuming the presidency of the Council for the month of December and for holding this important debate. I would also like to thank President Ouattara for his inspiring speech yesterday, as well as the Secretary General, Mr. Guterres, and the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mr. Moussa Faki Mahamat, for his inspireful remarks. Our world today continues to face unprecedented serious peace and security challenges. While traditional challenges such as internal crises, wars, and regional tensions endure, new threats are also on the rise, like terrorist acts, cybersecurity threats, and the adverse impact of climate change, to name a few. Like never before, the United Nations is faced with an overwhelming magnitude of security crises to address, both in terms of number and scope. This gloomy reality amplifies the importance of collective action for conflict resolution. It also magnifies the longer-term need for prevention as a paramount tool for peace building and sustaining peace. The Secretary General has put prevention at the heart of his vision for the reform of the UN's peace and security architecture. He also attached utmost priority for forging robust partnerships between all relevant stakeholders in addressing threats to peace and security. That includes strengthening cooperation between states, the United Nations, and regional and sub-regional groupings. Mr. President, as President Ouattara said yesterday that Côte d'Ivoire should be an inspiration in considering post-conflict reconstruction, it is indeed. Lebanon is similarly an inspiration when it comes to post-conflict rebirth. Lebanon provides a concrete example on how multi-leveled cooperation can play a decisive role in conflict resolution, post-conflict economic reconstruction, and peace building. After a devastating 15 years of civil war that started in 1975, Lebanon witnessed a full-fledged Israeli invasion and a subsequent Israeli occupation of an Arab capital and a large area of our territory. Thanks to the Arab world and the international community, Lebanon was able to stand again on its feet. The international community worked feverishly to restore peace in Lebanon and to bring an end to the occupation. The United Nations contribution was central to those efforts. Various Security Council resolutions, particularly Resolution 425, played a significant role to that effect. Yet, regional initiatives were equally important. The League of Arab States kept the situation in Lebanon under its close attention, initiating political talks, dispatching envoys, and at some point, even deploying joint forces to stabilize the conflict. The adoption of the Taif Accords in 1989 brought our devastating civil war to an end. Those accords were a culmination of a national political process facilitated by a regional initiative and supported by the United Nations and the international community. The Lebanese people will remain immensely grateful to the efforts of the host, Saudi Arabia, and the enabling umbrella of the League of Arab States for achieving peace. Lebanon has enjoyed 2 decades of internal peace, collective Arab effort, the best example of how regional cooperation and solidarity can bring peace. However, and as the Secretary General of the AU said yesterday, silencing the arms is the first step. The real work of making peace starts afterwards. Enormous work is needed to be done after the end of the civil turmoil to preserve peace, to have national reconciliation, to reconstruct the country and society, and solidify the foundations of a revitalized democracy. The continuation of this collaborative effort on the national, regional, and international levels also aided Lebanon's efforts on post-conflict recovery. Here again, Arab assistance and international support provided an indispensable lift for my country in terms of post-war reconstruction and institutional and economic revival. We could not have done it alone. Leadership is also as important, if not more important. The late Prime Minister Rafiq Hariri led an enormous reconstruction effort that revived the country and its economy. We are still enjoying its fruits now. Today, the United Nations remains a major contributor to peace and security in Lebanon. Thanks to its peacekeeping mission, UNIFIL, the situation in southern Lebanon remains generally calm, contributing positively to the overall stability in the country and beyond. UNSCOL and various UN agencies continue to support the Lebanese government's tireless work for sustaining peace and economic well-being, despite colossal challenges, especially the burdens of the Syrian refugee situation. The Rome II, CEDR, and the Brussels conferences of 2018 are the latest demonstrations of the generous international and regional commitment to the stability and welfare of my country. They also provide good examples of how post-conflict recovery efforts and peace building in one country situation is a long-term investment in peace and security on the regional and international levels. While international organizations are guardians of the pillars of international law, regional and sub-regional organizations provide the contextual edge which allows for a clearer and closer understanding of and responsiveness to local and regional security issues. It is evident that the complementarity of both international and regional structures is something we should build on in our collective strive towards global peace and security. A holistic approach to peace, as Secretary Guterres said yesterday, is the right way to long-term peace and security. Thank you, Mr. President.
Merci beaucoup, Madame la représentante du Liban.